The invitation said casual family barbecue, so I wore jeans, brought potato salad, and arrived at my sister Monica's house around 2 in the afternoon. The backyard was full of relatives, kids running around the pool, adults clustered near the grill with drinks in hand. "Jen." Monica waved me over, already 3 drinks and based on her volume. "About time. Food's on that table." Her kids were in the pool, Ashley, 16, Connor, 14, and Zoe, 12. They'd always been energetic, but lately there was an edge to their behavior around me. Monica had been telling them stories about my life and my choices, framing me as the cautionary tale of what happens when you don't get married or have kids. I set my potato salad on the table next to 17 other dishes and grabbed a water bottle. My phone was in my back pocket, my wallet in my purse on a lawn chair, standard family gathering setup. The afternoon progressed normally enough. I talked with my aunt, helped my father flip burgers, and avoided Monica's increasingly loud commentary about everyone's life choices. Around 4:30, I was standing near the pool talking to my cousin David when I felt hands on my back. The push was hard and unexpected. I hit the water fully clothed, my phone still in my pocket, going under immediately. The shock of cold water, the weight of my jeans, the disorientation of being suddenly submerged, it all hit at once. I surfaced, gasping, and heard laughter. Ashley was at the pool's edge with Connor and Zoe, all 3 of them doubled over. Ashley was holding up her phone, recording. "Look at her, like garbage." Connor yelled, and the other kids joined in laughing. I swam toward the ladder, my waterlogged jeans making it difficult. My phone was definitely ruined. My blouse clung to me, and I could feel my wallet heavy with soaked cash. "Don't help her out, let her struggle." That was Monica's voice, sharp and clear. I looked up. My cousin David had reached out to help me, but Monica was pulling his arm back. She was laughing, gesturing to the kids to keep filming. "Monica, this isn't funny," David said, but she waved him off. "Oh, come on. It's just water. Jen needs to lighten up anyway." I reached the ladder and climbed out, water pouring off me and creating a puddle on the concrete. My phone was dead weight in my pocket. My nice blouse was ruined. My jeans stuck to my legs uncomfortably. Every adult in the yard was watching, some laughing. I looked through the peephole and saw Ashley, Connor, and Zoe on my porch. Ashley was still in her party clothes from the evening, makeup smeared. Connor looked scared. Zoe was crying. I opened the door. "Aunt Jen, please. We need help." Ashley's voice was shaking, nothing like the confident mockery from 8 hours earlier. "What's wrong?" "We're stranded. We were at a party, and everyone left, and our rides fell through, and Mom's not answering her phone, and Dad's drunk at home, and we didn't know who else to call." "You called me?" "We couldn't. Your phone's been off. We walked here. It took 2 hours." They'd walked 2 hours at 3 in the morning to get to my apartment. I looked at them more carefully. Zoe's shoes were wrong for walking. Her feet blistered. Connor had a tear in his shirt. Ashley looked exhausted and frightened. Where was this party? "Across town, near the industrial area. It got really bad, Aunt Jen. There were older guys there, and they started getting aggressive, and everyone just left. We were scared to stay, but we had no way to get home." "Where's your mother now?" "I don't know. She's not answering. We called like 30 times. And your father?" Ashley looked ashamed. "He's home, but he's been drinking since the barbecue. He can't drive. He barely answered when we called." I stood there looking at these 3 kids who'd pushed me into a pool, filmed me struggling, called me garbage, whose mother had prevented anyone from helping me. Now they were on my doorstep at 5 in the morning because they had nowhere else to go. "Come inside," I said finally. They filed in quietly, suddenly docile. I pointed to the couch. "Sit." While they sat, I went to my bedroom and changed into proper clothes. Then I came back and looked at them, really looked at them. Zoe was still crying silently. Connor couldn't meet my eyes. Ashley looked like she wanted to disappear. "First," I said quietly, "tell me about this party. Everything. If there's something dangerous happening, I need to know." Ashley explained haltingly. "A friend's older brother's party. They'd lied to Monica about where they were going. Things had escalated, people drinking heavily, someone bringing drugs, fights breaking out. Their rides had left without them. They'd been too scared to stay but had no way home." "Did anyone hurt you?" "No," Ashley said quickly. "We left before it got that bad. But we were scared, really scared." "And you walked here from the industrial district?" "We didn't have money for an Uber. Mom hasn't given us our allowance, And your apartment was closer than home. 2 hours walking through dark streets at 3 in the morning. They could have been hurt, picked up, worse. Because they had no other options and I lived closer. Why didn't you call the police? Zoe finally spoke, her voice small. We were scared we'd get in trouble for lying about where we were. I sat down in the chair across from them. Let me make sure I understand. 8 hours ago, you three pushed me into a pool, filmed me struggling, called me garbage, and your mother prevented anyone from helping me. Now you show up at my door at 5 in the morning expecting me to rescue you. The silence was heavy. I'm sorry, Ashley whispered. We're really sorry. What we did was awful. I deleted the video. I know that doesn't make it better, but I felt terrible after you left. Did you? I asked. Or do you feel terrible now because you need something from me? Both, she admitted. I felt bad then, but I didn't know how to say it with everyone watching. And I feel worse now because you'd have every right to turn us away. But we had no one else. Your mother hasn't answered her phone since 10. We've called 40 times. We even tried Dad's friends. No one's answering. I pulled out my laptop since my phone was still dead. Give me your mother's number. Ashley recited it, and I tried calling from my computer. Straight to voicemail. I tried 4 more times. Nothing. What about your dad? Is he safe alone? He's passed out on the couch. He does this sometimes. He'll be fine in the morning, just hungover. There it was, the family secret casually revealed. Monica's husband had a drinking problem. Monica herself was unreachable when her children needed her. And these 3 kids had learned to navigate adult problems without adequate support. Here's what's going to happen, I said. You 3 are going to sleep here for a few hours. Zoe, you can have my bed. Ashley and Connor, there are blankets in the closet for the couch. At 8, I'll drive you home. We're going to have a conversation with your mother about tonight. All of it. Please don't tell her about the party, Connor said quickly. She'll cuss. Your mother needs to know you were in danger, that you walked 2 hours through dark streets because you couldn't reach her, that you lied about your location. All of it. She's going to ground us forever, Zoe said miserably. That's between you and her. But she needs to know her kids were scared. And she was unreachable. I set them up with blankets and pillows. Zoe curled up in my bed immediately, asleep within minutes. Ashley and Connor whispered on the couch for a while before exhaustion took them too. I stayed up, watching the sunrise, thinking about choices, consequences, and the strange math of family obligation. At 8, I woke them. They were groggy, embarrassed in the morning light. I made toast and scrambled eggs because feeding them seemed important. They ate silently, no one meeting my eyes. In the car, I said when they finished. The drive to Monica's house took 20 minutes. Her car was in the driveway. I rang the doorbell repeatedly until she answered, clearly just waking up, her phone dead on her nightstand. Jen? What are you? Why are my kids here? We need to talk. All of us. I walked in without waiting for permission. The kids followed, and Monica, confused and defensive, trailed behind. In her living room, with her husband still asleep on the couch exactly as the kids had described, I laid it out. The party, the danger, the 2-hour walk, the dozens of unanswered calls, my doorstep at 5 in the morning. Monica's face went through several emotions: confusion, anger, fear, defensiveness. Why didn't you call me? She demanded of her kids. We did, Ashley said. 40 times. Your phone was dead. Why didn't you tell me about the party in the first place? Because you wouldn't have let us go, Connor said. Exactly, because it was dangerous. Monica was working herself up. You lied to me, put yourselves at risk. And when they needed help, I interrupted quietly. They couldn't reach you. They walked 2 hours through dark streets because they had no other option. Monica turned on me. You could have called me. With what phone? The one that stopped working when your kids pushed me in the pool and you laughed? She had the grace to look embarrassed. That was just fun. Kids being kids. It was assault. It was filmed. It was humiliating. And you prevented people from helping me. You're being dramatic. Am I? Your kids showed up on my doorstep at 5 in the morning because they were scared and had nowhere else to go. After spending yesterday treating me like garbage. Do you see the irony? Monica looked at her kids, who were all studying the floor. Is this true? You went to Jen after what you did. She was the only one who answered, Ashley said quietly. The only one we could reach. We knew she'd help even though we didn't deserve it. Why would you think that? Because Aunt Jen's reliable, Zoe said. She's always been reliable, even when we're mean to her. I stood up. Here's what I need to say. Yesterday was unacceptable. You participated in humiliating me, Monica. You taught your kids that cruelty is funny, and then, when they needed help, you were unreachable, and they came to the person they just abused. I said I'm sorry about the pool. No, you didn't. You haven't apologized once. You called me dramatic. I looked at the kids. You three apologized. You acknowledged what you did was wrong. Your mother hasn't. Monica's face flushed. Fine, I'm sorry. It was inappropriate. I had too much to drink. That's not an apology. That's an excuse. We stared at each other, years of tension crystallizing in this moment. Your kids were in real danger last night, I said finally. They made bad choices, yes. But they're kids. You're the adult who was supposed to be reachable. Instead, I was. I headed for the door, then turned back. Ashley, Connor, Zoe, you're welcome to reach out if you need actual help. Not rides from parties you lied about attending, but real emergencies. I'll be there. But the mockery stops. The filming stops. The cruelty stops. Understood? They nodded. Monica, charge your phone. Know where your kids are. Be reachable. Because next time they're scared and alone, I might not be available. And then what? I left before she could respond. In my car, driving home, my phone still dead, my blouse ruined, my dignity somewhat restored. I thought about reliability and how it's often thankless until it's desperately needed. 2 days later, after I'd gotten a new phone, I received a text from Ashley. The video was deleted before I ever posted it. I know that doesn't fix what we did, but I wanted you to know. Also, Mom charged her phone and set up alerts so she never misses our calls. And she apologized to Dad about yesterday, but that's complicated. Thank you for helping us. We didn't deserve it. I didn't respond immediately. I just sat with the message, considering whether their fear had taught them empathy or just caution. Finally, I typed back. Everyone deserves help when they're scared, but respect has to be earned back. Work on that. 3 dots appeared, then, we will, I promise. Whether they keep that promise remained to be seen, but at least now they understood that the person they treated like garbage was the same person who'd answered the door at 5 in the morning. And maybe that was worth something.